here I've drawn a picture depicting the situation, and I'm offering a memory device or mnemonic aid to help you remember in which quadrants which trig functions are positive. And that's all students take calculus, ASTC. And so what that means is in the first quadrant, all trig functions are positive because both x and y coordinates are positive. In the second quadrant, students means sine and its reciprocal cosecant are positive because x is negative and y is positive, and the sine is y over the hypotenuse, which we always treat the hypotenuse as positive. Third quadrant, all students take calculus, take tangent and cotangent are positive because both x and y are negative. Opposite over adjacent is going to give you negative over negative or positive. And finally, in the fourth quadrant, calculus, cosine, and secant are positive because x is positive and the y coordinate is negative. So there's other ways to do this problem using trigonometric identities, but I like to do it this way. There's the triangle sketched. I figured out the hypotenuse using the Pythagorean theorem, which is that the hypotenuse squared, or h, equals the square root of 6 squared is 36, negative 2 squared is 4, square root of 40, which is 2 radical 10. Okay, so the theta, you can say, was reached, or the terminal side was reached by rotating this ray in a positive direction to end up on this terminal side, or you could rotate in the negative direction. Either way, you've got the same little triangle here. So now you can say the sine of theta is opposite over hypotenuse, negative 2 over 2 radical 10. If you rationalize the denominator, I could have canceled out these 2's to start with. You get negative radical 10 over 10. Cosine, adjacent over hypotenuse, 6 over 2 radical 10. And if you cancel these out and then rationalize, you get 3 radical 10 over 10. And finally, tangent of theta is opposite over adjacent, which is negative 2, opposite over adjacent, 6, negative 1/3. To get the other 3 trig functions, you just turn these upside down and maybe rationalize. So negative 10 over the square root of 10 for cosecant, of course, would become negative 10 radical 10 over 10. And so you get negative radical 10. Similarly for these, turn them upside down to get the secant. Turn this upside down, or take the reciprocal to get the cotangent. Okay, there you go. Hope that helped. And for B and C, this information tells you that you are in the third quadrant, and the tangent is negative in the third quadrant. That makes sense. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but you'd probably draw a little sketch like this. Tangent is negative 5. Whoop, sorry, did that wrong. Opposite is negative 5, or 5 over negative 12. Opposite over adjacent. There's theta. This is the reference angle. And the hypotenuse is 13 by the Pythagorean theorem. You got that little sketch. Figure out the other trig functions. For example, the sine of this theta is 5 over 13. And that makes sense. Sine in the second quadrant is positive. I think I might have said third quadrant, but from pi over 2 to pi is the second quadrant. Okay, there you go. Hope that helped. If you have any questions, post a comment.